Hello everybody, and welcome to my updated showcase video for all of the custom items I've created. Unlike the old command block version, this version is a full-on data pack, so it's much easier to install. All you need to do is locate the data packs folder for the world that you want to add these items to, and then just drag the zip file right in. And then from there, we just type /reload in chat and you are good to go. So right behind me is all of the items. There's 60 items in total, plus 2 more for extra currency stuff that I'll get into later. And just like last time, they are all categorized into separate tiers. We've got the low tier here, mid tier here, and high tier over here. And then these last 5 are just some miscellaneous items. And most, if not all, of these items can be considered more endgame overpowered things. And I will go through all of the different items, but for now, let's just go through my favorite 4 so that you can see a bit more of what's in store. So first off, we've got the backpack. We put this in our offhand. 90% of these items you put in the offhand to use them. As you can see, this has backpack, it's a portable storage vault, and it comes with a cake when you first open it, and it follows you around. It's sort of like an ender chest that is an entity, and once you take it out of your hand, it will go to a secure place that nobody can get to, and the only way to access it again is when you put it back in your offhand. Each player gets their own unique minecart as well. The next item I'm going to show is this explosion bow. So it takes TNT arrows, which are these, and like the name implies, they explode on impact. So if you shoot one off, there goes the explosion. It's a little bit less than a TNT explosion. It's about the size of a creeper explosion. So you also do not get every item if you do it this way, like you would with a TNT blast chamber. It also uses up these TNT arrows as well. Now, how do you get these TNT arrows, you might be asking? Well, it's pretty simple. All you gotta do is take 8 gunpowder and 8 arrows, or you could do 16, you could do 32, you could do 64, as long as it's divisible by 8. Throw them next to each other, and you need to hold the bow in your hand, and there you go. There are 8 arrows made right there. Now, if you're a server owner and you don't like being able to do it that way, you can run this command in chat, press enter, and then when you put the bow in your offhand, you will spawn 16 arrows. There is no cooldown for this as well. You can spam it as much as you want. The next item is this Air Deity's Feather. It's part of the Elemental Kit, and all it does, you put it in your offhand and you get levitation. And then once you drop right back down, no fall damage. You get a slight bit of jump boost in order to negate the fall damage. And then lastly, out of my 4 favorite items, we've got the Water Deity's Trident. This is another one from the Elemental Kit. Now, as you can see here, this trident has both Loyalty and Riptide, which usually you cannot get. And in order to switch between the 2 enchantments, all you gotta do is put it in your offhand. And then when you take it out, it switches back and forth. So it's a pretty fun item. You get to do a lot of different things with it. You can throw it around, and then when you get into the water, you can switch it quickly and then use the Riptide. And lastly, I should also quickly mention that all of the items that would usually have durability are all unbreakable, such as the trident, the bow, the swords, the pickaxes, all of that stuff. Alright, starting off with the low tier kits, we've got the Fisherman Kit, the Gravity Kit, Forecaster Kit, and Necromancer Kit. Starting off with the Fisherman Kit, we've got a unbreakable fishing rod named Gramps' Lucky Rod. It's got Luck of the Sea 5 and Lure 5, and then when it's in your main hand, you get plus 250 luck. What that means is if you fish with your main hand, if you have the chance to get a treasure item, you always will get a treasure item. If you don't want this to happen, just use your offhand to fish instead. Next, we've got the Scuba Gear, which gives Aqua Affinity and Respiration, and it also, when it is in your head, gives Conduit Power 2. And next we've got the Flippers. It is Protection 1 Gold Unbreakable Boots, which gives Dolphins Grace. And then lastly for the Fisherman Kit, we've got the Boat Summoner. Pretty simple. Look in the direction you want a boat to get summoned, and you put it in your offhand, and there you go. And next we've got the Gravity Kit. Of course, we've got the classic Knockback 10 stick. How can you add a data pack full of custom items without adding a knockback stick, am I right? But then next we've got the weighted boots, which are Protection 1 Unbreakable Iron Boots. And with these, you get complete knockback resistance. So even if you were to get hit with this knockback stick, you would not get moved anywhere. And lastly for the Gravity Kit, we have the Item Magnet, which pulls all items within an 8x8 area right to you. So if I was to take all of these items, and let's say we put these on the ground, All you gotta do is hold it and hit shift, and then all of the items will teleport right to you. They do get teleported to the ground and then you pick them up afterwards. It's just a little quick to see sometimes. Next up is the Forecaster Kit. This is probably the most simple kit in all of them. You've got your fire, water, and thunder medallions. And all you gotta do is put them in your offhand, and it will turn to rainy weather, stormy weather, or just clear skies. And lastly, for the low tier kits is the Necromancer kit. This is the kit that I'm probably the least proud of, but I figured I would keep it included either way. Basically, you've got all of these items that summon mobs. You've got the zombie, which has a helmet, a skeleton, which also has a helmet, so they both don't burn. You've got the spider, the witch, and the killer rabbit. Now, unfortunately, why I'm not too proud of this is because either way, no matter when you summon them, they will still attack you. Now, the last thing in the Necromancer kit is this Creeper Fake Out. No, it is not a Creeper Summoner, but what it does do is it summons the little hiss noise, so you can scare your friends. Alright, moving on to the mid-tier kits. Now, these items get pretty fun from here on out. We've got the Traveler Kit, the Assassin Kit, the Pyromaniac Kit, and the Archer Kit. The Traveler Kit gives speed 3 pants plus 60% speed, same thing as the speed 3 potion effect. The boots of the Traveler are Chainmail Jump Boost 3 boots, pretty simple again. So if I take both of these, we've got speed over here, and this actually will stack with the speed effect, so if you give yourself speed 2 with a potion, you will go even faster. You've got the boots of the Traveler here, which are Jump Boost 3 boots. Next, we've got the Traveler's Spyglass and the backpack, which I already showed. So for the Traveler's Spyglass, it behaves just like a normal spyglass, but then when you put it in your offhand, you gain 4 Ender Pearls. Next is the Assassin Kit. We've got the Thief's Dagger, which gives looting 5. It also applies the blindness effect to those who you hit with it. Next, we've got the Poison Tipped Blade, a sharpness 3 gold sword that gives poison. Next, we have a Vanisher, which if I put this into any of the top row here, I completely disappear, no particles, no nothing, and then you reappear like so. Pretty fun. Also one of my favorite items. And then lastly, we've got this Player Radar. Once again, you put it anywhere in this top row, and a little chat notification will show up when a player that is in survival mode is within a certain range of you. It'll give another notification once that player has moved away. And next we've got the Pyromaniac Kit. We've got a Fire Aspect 5 Unbreakable Flint and Steel that also has knockback 1. Then we have the Pyro's Boots, which give fire protection 10, and they also give fire resistance. And then lastly, we've got these Flaming Snowballs and Bucket of Flaming Snow. So with these Flaming Snowballs, you throw them, and wherever they land, a lava block will appear. Similar to the way that the arrows work, if you throw a bucket of snow on the ground with a lava bucket, it will create the 4 flaming snowballs. It will also give you the bucket back for your lava, and you actually get to keep the bucket of flaming snow. Again, if you don't want to do this, you can use this command, and then once you put the bucket in your offhand, you create 4 more snowballs. And next we've got the Archer Kit. This is the same kit that the Explosion Bow comes from, as well as its counterpart, the Sunshot Bow, which uses light arrows. And what these do is once you shoot them, it spawns a torch. And similar to all the other spawnable stuff, you can run this command in order to make the offhand spawn the items. If not, it's the same recipe as the TNT arrows, only instead of gunpowder, it is torches. These also work on the sides of blocks like this, and if you are to shoot a block that already has a torch, it will just drop like this. And lastly, if you were to shoot a player with these arrows, they will get the glowing effect, much like spectral arrows. And next from this kit is the Bow of Winds and the Machine Gun Crossbow. So the Bow of Winds, similar to the Knockback 10 stick, is just a punch 10 bow. Nothing too crazy there, but still a lot of fun. And next is the Machine Gun, which has Quick Charge 5, meaning you can immediately pull back and just keep firing. Alright, now we move on to the high tier kits, the most overpowered items out of the bunch. First we've got the Elemental Kit, the Miner Kit, the Tank Kit, the Alchemist Kit, and the Ethereal Kit. The elemental kit has the feather that we saw earlier, as well as the trident that we saw earlier. It also has the lightning deity's staff and the fire deity's fireball. Lightning deity's staff is similar to the boat summoner, where it just summons a lightning bolt wherever you are looking. The fire deity's fireball will also summon a fireball wherever you're standing. You can back up a little bit and then punch it to wherever you want it to go. And next is the miner kit, which has the most items out of all of the kits. First of all, we've got pretty simple items. We've got Efficiency 5 diamond tools that are all unbreakable. Next, we've got the Lucky Pick, which is a Fortune 5 iron pick. We've got the Night Vision goggles, the Haste Powder, and the Minecart Summoner. Now, similar to the Boat Summoner, this summons a minecart. Nothing too crazy there. The night vision goggles, when worn, give you night vision, and the haste powder, when put in your offhand, gives you haste 2, like a beacon would. And now that we get into the tools aspect of this, I should mention that all of these tools can be renamed, and they can be combined with other enchanted books. So for example, you can put Fortune or Silk Touch on all of these tools. You can also increase the level of sharpness for the swords, and so on and so forth. And next we've got the Tank Kit. This gives you Protection 5, Blast Protection 3, and Projectile Protection 2 diamond armor. They all give you a minus amount of speed, enough to all equal up to slowness 3. So if I was to put all of these on, you can see slowly get slower and slower, and this is my sprinting speed now. And now you might be asking yourself, well, can you make these netherite? Yes, you actually can. For all of the diamond tools that you see in these kits can all be turned into netherite. And then lastly, for the tank kit, we have the Steel Shield with Knockback 1 and Thorns 3. The Thorns 3 actually doesn't do anything, I just like seeing it there for some reason. And next we have the Alchemist kit, which gives 4 unique potions. You start off with these 4 potions, which aren't actually them. Instead, you put these into your offhand, and then you get summoned the item. So what do these potions do? Well, first of all, we've got the Health Booster, which gives 10 more hearts for 5 minutes. It also gives a slight bit of regen for you to slowly regain those hearts once you first use it. Next, we've got the Sticky Potion, which gives slowness, mining fatigue, and blindness. So you hit this on someone, they can't see very far. Of course, my sky is a bit weird in this texture pack, but you can't see very far, you can't move. I'm trying to move right now, and I just can't. Now I can move. Nor can you break any blocks during this effect. And next up is the Poisonous Wither Potion. Similar to the Poison 3 gold sword from the Assassin kit, you get Poison 3 for 10 seconds, but you also gain Wither 3 for 10 seconds as well, so it's quite the deadly combo. And lastly is the Retreat Potion, which gives Speed 3 and Invisibility for 30 seconds. So if you're ever in a fight or you need to run from a situation, you just pop that on yourself and then you're gone. And lastly is the Ethereal Kit. Now this gives you an angel shard, which you can use to create these angel wings. So either your server admin or whoever is running it, or you in your single player world, you can choose between needing to get the elytra first to make this elytra, or if you just give it to yourself now. So how the angel shard works is you drop it on the ground with a pair of an elytra, and it consumes both and creates the angel wings. What the angel wings do is they are unbreakable elytra that give off no fall damage. So if I was to run this command and go all the way up, I don't take any damage. And then lastly, we have the Reaper's Cloth. Now this is a very fun item. It's also probably the most broken item in all of the kits, because what it does is you put it in your offhand and you gain access to spectator mode for 10 seconds. As you can see here, there's a little timer that counts down, and you're free to roam. Now you cannot get too far. As you can see, there is a range limit, so if I was to do that one more time, if I'm to run all the way off, it will cut short because I went outside of the range. You can also see where you start off at, and also once the timer ends, you will be placed exactly where you started. So in a few seconds, we're going to be teleported right back to where that torch was. Now when you use this item, other people will be able to see where you are in spectator mode thanks to the particles that you give off. And last but not least is this little unsorted items here. So first of all, we've got the Yoshite crystals and the Yoshite shard. What these do, at least for my server, it will be the currency of how to gain these kits. So you need a certain amount of Yoshite crystals in order to get the low, mid, and high kits, and the amount will change depending on what the tier is. And then you also can use a Yoshite shard, and 5 of these will turn into a crystal. So if I was to throw these down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they turn into 1 Yoshite crystal. Now, how it's set up currently is that both of these items have a chance to spawn in loot-generated chests, such as jungle temples, if I was to find one in the jungle behind me, desert pyramids, nether fortresses, pretty much everything that you can find loot has the chance to get these. The chance for the Yoshite shard is pretty decent, and there's actually a very low chance to get a full crystal as well. So then next here we have the Dead Pork Axe and the Horse Elixir. Now, in my server there's actually going to be an add-on which I will also make a showcase for, but I figured I would show them off in this video as well. And what that add-on is an Ender Moon, which is basically just a blood moon that I've made. And in the Ender Moon there will be one boss, a pigman riding a zombie horse, and he has a chance to drop this axe that he wields. And what's special about this axe is that it has fire aspect too. You can also increase the sharpness with another sharpness 4 or sharpness 5 book, and it is not unbreakable like the rest of the items. If you are able to kill him without killing the horse, then you will gain a max stat zombie horse. If you do kill the horse after he is dead, the horse has a chance to drop this. And what this horse elixir does is you drop it onto a horse of your own, and that horse will gain the maximum stats that they can achieve as well. Now, the very last item to show is this bad apple. This has a 1 in 5,000 chance to drop from oak or dark oak leaves. It will give you poison if you eat it. For 5 seconds, I think it's only 2 hearts. And it also has a secondary effect. As you can see, I held that in my offhand. If you were to hold this in your main hand, it will actually kick you from the server. And it will have a little chat message that appears saying, username was a bad apple. Of course, you can rejoin immediately right after, and you will not be into a kick loop for joining and then holding the item immediately. It will only work the first time. You gotta take it out of your main hand and then back on for it to work. And for anybody who is opt on a server or has cheats enabled on a single player server, if you want to gain access to all of the items immediately, you just type in function and then go to this, the Yosh items 1 give all items. It will give you this chest. It says empty, but it's not. Place it down, and here are all of the items. As you can see from here, all good to go. And I also do need to mention that there are currently no ways to get all of these items legitly in vanilla without cheats. As it stands right now, you need to be opt or have cheats enabled on a server or a single player or whatnot in order to get these items here from that function command. And then you can choose for yourself how you want players to be able to get these and be rewarded. On my server, for example, I'm using these 2 items as currency, and then I've got different custom traders that will give them to you for a set amount. With exception from these 3 items, of course. As I said, this drops from leaves, and then these 2 drop from a boss in the Blood Moon, which, by the way, there will also be a video going out with the Blood Moon at the same time, so feel free to check that out as well. And that's about it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'm also on Discord all the time, so feel free to join my Discord server, which a link will be in the description. But that's it, so thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.